Now, as usual, not all the time, but generally I have a topic on regarding the OSM environment ecosystem, the OSM project as a whole. So today, just show you the OSM services. Okay, so OSM is a database. It has a community. We saw last time, last session, its ecosystem. Okay, and the wiki. And based on all of that, there's a lot of services based on OpenStreetMap. There is close that. There is a chapter in the Getting Started guide about the OSM services. It's really short. Actually, it was just putting some example. I think I will put some screenshots in the close future to make that a bit more fancy. Okay, the fact the OSM data is free to use and reuse thanks to the OGBL license. Makes that there's a lot of services that can be based on OpenStreetMap. Okay, and just on technical aspect, most of these services, they will actually replicate the OSM database totally or partly, and not, I mean, use the main database, because otherwise, I mean, it would totally overcharge the main servers. So the first one I put, and actually I think I introduced last time because it was, you can show it partly in the OSM wiki in the map features, is a service called TagInfo that was created by a German member of the OSM community called Johann Topf. I will open it. Actually, this is the main instance, it's the global one, but if you go in the about, I think it can go on the wiki. There's different instances. Some of them are not global, etc. So the different tag info available, but this one it covers the whole OSM database. So what it does is actually showing statistics based on the OSM database. I was checking the data. The data is from today, almost 1 a.m. UTC. That means midnight UTC +1. That is actually the German time zone. Okay, so it's basically refreshed once a day at midnight German time. So you can search directly here a tag, okay? But when you have also these popular keys, and the most popular one is, you can see the buildings, building, highways, amenities, very popular. Oops, microphone somewhere. It's Jala. Okay, so I click on building and I have this web page. So you can see that currently, as of midnight, a few hours ago at least, so a bit more, a few more now, but a few hours ago we had more than 563 million buildings in OpenStreetMap, and most of them as ways, as polygon actually. Okay, there's almost 1 million that are mapped as node. You can see here the distribution of value of this key. Okay, building, yes, of course. I think it's the most common tag in OpenStreetMap. So if you want to have more information, you can click on the values tab, and you have actually all the values for this key. Okay, so building, yes, 80%, and you have everything. What is interesting here, so you can see the statistics, but you can also sometimes find there a very specific way of tagging an object for a rare object that you would like actually to map, and you would like to know if there is already some people using this tag you have in mind, but you would like to confirm if it's already used. You do that when you went, for example, to the wiki and it was not documented. So there is it's totally admitted in the OSM community. Huh? If you do not find a tag, you can invent new tags. You have to follow some rules. Okay, so you can see there is no space, for example. There is no accented character, things like that. But based on that, you can create a tag if you did not find one that match actually your mapping need. And map tag info is a good way actually to see what already exists. Okay. So if I go to, I don't know, to page 8, to have object that's building with only a few thousands occurrence of this tag. Okay. But some of them can be actually wrong. Building equals shop is actually you would put more on this polygon. Shop equals something that would more meaningful. Okay. Some of them, when they are, what is interesting also, if they are documenting the wiki, it can show you actually that there is a check mark, and they will get the description. So it's really interactive with the wiki. And for example, if for buildings, if I go to the wiki, of course, there I can go to the wiki page I want to watch in the available languages. What is also interesting, you have the combination here. So what are the other keys that are the most used in combination with buildings? So the first one is source. The second one is the house number for the address. Okay. But one also after the address, you can see the building levels, for example. And for the building levels, and here you can switch. Okay, so you're interested in building levels, you have that, and you can, for example, go to the wiki from there in English. Is it English? Yeah. This is where you will know actually how to map building levels. So it's really interactive, as I said, with the wiki. You can see the chronology of the use of a tag over the time. A map of its use for this is a really use tag all around the world, etc. But some would be more specific. Okay. And there's also some capacity to open some extraction in editors. Okay, on Overpass Turbo generally. You can get that. Overpass is a tool we will see at the end of this training. And you have a lot of languages at your disposal, and if it's missing, you can translate everything. Can be translated in OpenStreetMap in your local language. So that's for the statistics. For the other statistics, you have those provided by HiGit, this geospatial geoinformation technology lab from the Heidelberg Institute in Germany, and they created the awesome tools that present as services, but I think also as API, some historical data analytics from OpenStreetMap. Okay, so yes, there is an API, the database, so you can find your maybe things that will please you. If you want actually to check, this one is, for example, Amity Clinic Healthcare, etc. Okay, and you can explore and it's based on the hexagonal tile, and you can see the charts. One, say one in Africa, Abidjan, for example. And you have the number of clinics related to the surface. Other tools are the result maps. I think last time, yes, I showed you the one of these tools provided by this environment is the one showing statistic over a country. Okay, I was showing you the different the OSM communities. So this is trending, this one. Okay, you remember OSM stats. There's other tools that are very interesting. This one, for example, OSM chain set with a specific comment. It's a good way, for example, if you organize a mapathon, you have a specific hashtag, you can have a result map. It will show you all actually the B boxes of the chain set of every contributors. Okay. This one is to identify and know more about a specific contributor. So for this one, you need actually to connect. Yes, I will do it with UN Mappers account. With access. As a default, it shows you your username. So the UN Mappers account is not made for editing. So actually, it's very rare we edit with that, or maybe during a training. So that's, you can see as a, it considers as a hit and run contributor. Okay, you have all the information about it. Let me check one that would exist. I will avoid mine, so maybe. Okay, so that's a friend of mine that is a very huge mapper. So you can see you have, when the account has been created, the number of mapping days, the number of map changes. So that's more than 1 million is just very proficient mapper. So there is a, okay, it's considered as a legendary mapper. Highly active. You have, you can see here the every day the number of chain sets, and all the different map features that it created, modified, created, or deleted, and for every node, way, or relation tags. Okay, so a lot of places here, but also you can see a lot of amenity and shops. So it's not only a mapper mapping with remotely with satellite imagery, but also a field mapper. Okay. You can see, well, first, last chain set, the user, the editor that he uses. Okay. Mapping days per year, chain set per week, per hour, and all the countries where he mapped. Okay, so that's actually, as an OSM contributor, this is your CV. Okay, you can argue anything that you are a very proficient mapper, but if you share your OSM account, then there is almost nothing that your argument we cannot survive, I would say, to that. Okay. And more, I would say, more than the certificate. I mean these statistics talk by themselves. Except if you are a proficient mapper, but mapping badly, I would say. Okay, the same approach. I mean, over a specific contributor, you have this heat map. Okay, for this one, I can put mine, for example. So myself, I'm mapped here and there, but you can see mostly it was in Africa, Central African Republic. Was my my most focus over the years. So Madagascar, this is in Ivory Coast. Here, this is where I live. Also Haiti, back in 2010, 11, etc. So that's interesting also to see a heat map from someone, so you can put your name here if you want. Okay, so yes. Okay, so how did you contribute? You have the direct link in the chapter. Oh, there is a question. Oh, it's related for the internship, so maybe I will answer later at the end. I will just pass this question actually, and just making. I'm going to be back in a few seconds to my colleagues. That would be better to answer this question. Okay. So the other services that are listed here, but we will not see them today. First, the mobile application. That will be the matter of partly this session, but also the next one. And services to download OSM data in different formats, and that's the specific matter of the 9 sessions. Okay. You have also some services to create paper maps. So you have MyOSM-matic, for example, that creates city maps. Generally, that will in a few clicks. So we can switch to English. A lot of different also languages for the user interface. So in a few clicks, actually, you will get a generated map either in PDF, PNG, or SVG format, ready to be printed. You can see there can be multi-pages like this one. You have a grid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 12, etc. And every consecutive page will be one of these numbers, and we'll cover that. Okay, that's really a very classic city plan. And what is interesting that there is no other example. Yes, automatically it will provide you here the addresses, the list of addresses, of all the street names, rather the street names, and you would know that such street would be from, for example, A1 to D3, the another one from A3 to B5, etc., as any classic city maps does. Field papers is a bit different. So once again, I will switch to English. It's coming. Yeah. So it's not to produce city maps, it's actually to produce papers or maps that you will use in the field, supposedly, but actually you can use them for any other purposes. But their very reason were to have paper maps to collect data in the field. Okay, so you would make an atlas, a bit like in my OSM Matic. So an atlas that would be either an OSM rendering or an available satellite imagery. You take that into the field, you make all the annotation you want over the paper map, and then you can either scan or take a vertical picture of the result. And if you upload it here, the pages you have marked, it will provide you a link that would be a layer, a link to a background layer to put in your preferred editor that I hope now is JOSM. So, and you could actually modify OpenStreetMap based on these georeference paper maps that you collect, you annotated in the field. So it was hugely used, I would say, before everyone had a smartphone. So less now, but for some specific, I would say, context or thematics, this can be interesting actually to use for the purpose of collecting data in the field, I mean. And services to create web maps, so something that will not be printed, but that would be a map that will be only available online. You have this service that we also like the try again for. This is the creation of a one single person. This one is called Johan Boniface. He's French, and this is the main instance hosted by the French OSM Association, but there are other instances that you can find in the wiki if you search UMAP in the OSM wiki. And you can log in, for example, with your OSM account. Right, that would be with UN mappers. Okay, maybe it would be better to switch to my account actually, because I'm not sure there is some existing maps with UN mappers. Okay. Actually, you can access all the freely available maps. So this one is addressing, you can see open shops in a specific area in France, ethnic maps in Albania, different kind of things. Regarding my maps, supposedly I should have my maps. I know this is my, no, No, it's not my internet. This other website runs well. I don't know what happens with UMap. Strange. So directly to an existing map. Yeah, fortunately there is it's a very reliable service generally, but I think there is an issue there. So, well, in the meantime, just explain what you can do with that. So you have background maps using. You have a lot of the available OSM rendering provided by different communities or companies. And on top of that, you can add your own markers, line polygons for information or geodata that is not actually made, that actually it would not make sense to put that in OpenStreetMap. Okay, so you can create them directly in the user interface, but you can also import existing data as a specific layer. And you can also make an OSM thematic maps by using a search string that will actually almost, yes, in real time, we'll take the current OSM data and display it on top of the OSM rendering. So it's really a pity that it doesn't work, because it's great. But maybe I will show you it next time. Okay. But you cannot print them. Oh, it's back apparently. Yes. So this example is the standard OSM rendering, and supposedly, yes, it seems to be a bit of a charge. I don't know why. I should have some cluster markers on top of it, and this map is about showing the existing school in OpenStreetMap in over Ouagadougou, the capital city of Burkina Faso. You still hear me well? To be sure that is not this seems to be an issue from UMAP and not on my side. But okay, I think I heard someone telling me that the sound was okay. It was very low, but okay. So it works now, and if I click on that, you can see they are clustered regarding proximity. So here you have the main concentration, 330 school in this area. If I zoom in, they will expand, but there's still a 72 here, 31, no 10 here, etc. Okay. At the end, if I click on that, I would get the OSM tags in this case. But you can have very fancy maps. For example, if I remember yes, help a former student from an institute here in Salvador in Brazil to make this this cultural map using UMAP, and on top of it, he created some object with fancy pop-ups. But okay, Unfortunately, just today, because it's a very reliable server generally, but it's very slow now. I don't know why. It's coming. Yes. Okay. A lot of different layers you can see on Carnaval, cinema, gastronomy, and if you click on one thing, you can put some pictures, photos, text as you wish. Okay, and every object is clickable, and you can create your markers, and they would be there. Okay, and this is totally available for free, and it's just a URL that you share. By default, the maps are free to access to everyone, but you can also make them available only with a non-share link. I mean, if you have the link, you can access, but this link is not publicly searchable. Or you can also restrict the map to only a few list of UMAP users. Okay, and you can be by default you're the one. You're the only editor of the map, but you can also add other editors if you want. But just pay in mind that you cannot edit in two people at the same time, or you will actually save on top of each other. So that's it for a bit of the OSM services. Okay,